President Trump called Brett Kavanaugh a, quote, judge's judge. Here's more on how the Supreme Court nominee described his judicial philosophy.
I've served with 17 other judges, each of them a colleague and a friend. My judicial philosophy is straightforward. A judge must be independent and must interpret the law, not make the law. A judge must interpret statutes as written, and a judge must interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent.
Joining me now on the phone is Hagan Scotten. Hagan was a clerk for Judge Kavanaugh from 2010 through 2011. Hagan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Elaine. It's really good to be here tonight.
So it's great to have your insight here. Tell us what you thought of when you heard Judge Kavanaugh's description of his judicial philosophy.
I thought what he said tonight is exactly what I learned from him as a clerk. And I took a law class he taught before I was his clerk. And it was the same thing that he would tell us every day when I clerked with him. It was the same thing he really wanted to see when we were, as his clerk, helping him through a case. Careful analysis of the law, and the text, the detail, and really coming at the case, each case, in a way to get it right without picking any outcome, just sort of following the law where the law led him.
Well, tell me what it was like, Hagan, to clerk for Judge Kavanaugh.
Well, it can be a little intimidating. Like I said, I had taken his Harvard law class before I clerked for him, so I knew he had a comprehensive grasp of the law, which is a clerk, when you're supposed to help with the details, to make it tough, that you really know that he's kind of got the law down already. It was helping that he's a phenomenally hard worker, but thankfully he's also a family man. When I clerked with him, his daughters were still very young, and so I knew he always took care of them in the morning, and he always drove them to school in the morning, which meant he couldn't get in until about 9:30, which was at least a little respite. And then once he was there, you worked hard all day, get the law right, and at the end of the day, you talk about sports, talk about the games. I think I went to a baseball game with Judge Kavanaugh before I ever clerked for him. It was an all-around great boss. He was great to learn from, great to work with, and then great when you weren't working also.
Well, what kind of role do you see him taking on if, in fact, he is confirmed as a Supreme Court justice?
Well, I think he'll be a very influential justice. The clarity of opinions, his knowledge of the law, but also his ability to get along with everybody. When I clerked for him, he was actually one of the more junior judges on the court, and it was impressive to see the respect that his more senior colleagues had for him, how kind he was to his colleagues who were more junior than him, how everyone got along with him, and how when you were working on an opinion with other chambers, and on a junior court, there's two other judges on any opinion, 8 at the Supreme Court, everybody would want to call the Kavanaugh chambers to see what he was thinking, where he was going, what his insights were, because his work was so thorough and often so brilliant that it was really very influential.
Anything else, Hagan, that you think is important for folks to understand about this person that obviously a lot of us are just learning about, more about his career, but you have actually had experience not just clerking for, but as you said, being a student of his?
Well, I guess the other thing that I would suggest everybody should take away is getting to know him as a person. It's going to be tough for the media, but I've heard said about other judges, that guy's really normal for a judge. And then I've heard people say to me about Judge Kavanaugh, he's just really normal for a normal person. It's tough sometimes to grasp a brilliant legal mind combined with somebody who really wants to talk to you about hockey. I mean, if you love to talk about the law, when the law is done, let's move on to the next thing. I'm a big Yankees fan, and he can talk Nationals with me all day. But then maybe the Yankees were better than Nationals. He kind of change the subject, and you can get on basketball, or, like I said, the Capitals, because our New York teams aren't so good right now. And it's going to be really interesting for you guys in the media to get to know the whole person.
Yeah, it certainly will be, and to hear him, if he is confirmed, the way in which he interacts with those who appear before the High Court. Hagan Scotten, thank you so much for your insight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Elaine. Take care.